Genshin Impact players only want one thing, and it is disgusting. Although I don't know what that one thing is yet, but that's what we're here to figure out. We're going to be joining the worlds of random Genshin Impact players and then asking them 3 questions. First, we'll ask who their favorite character is, which should give us some insight into their preferences. Then we'll hit them with the main question. What is the one thing that they want added to this game more than anything else? And finally, we'll ask one last question, which may or may not have any relevance to Genshin Impact or this video. So let's get started. Our first victim has been obtained. Also, did they change how chat looks in co-op? Because this is not how I remember. So first up, we're going to ask them who their favorite character in Genshin is. They said Clorand with a Skirk profile picture, so you know that checks out. I see no inconsistencies here. If you could add any one thing to Genshin Impact, what would it be? My answer, very obviously, would be a skip button. But for them, it is the ability on the anniversary events to choose a 5-star weapon or character. Or it seems like more so they just want to be able to choose a weapon instead of a character, which you know, I can agree with. Now for arguably an even more important question. Do you prefer vanilla or chocolate pudding? Low-key, they don't like pudding, but they guess chocolate is nice. Yeah, you know what? Leave it to the Clorand mains to not like pudding. Let's see if they have any questions for us. Otherwise, we are out of here. Who's my favorite fashion designer and why? You see, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know any fashion designers other than Chiori. And now we are here with Chip. Let's find out who their favorite character is. We need the insight into how they're thinking. Venti. Okay. What is the one thing that this person would add to the game? It could be anything. It could be a skip button. Oh. That's not quite a skip button, I'll say that. I feel like some of the characters, you know, they might kind of push that envelope a little bit, but they never really confirm it. So they probably want it confirmed. If you were a fruit, what would be your favorite color? Okay, it seems they don't quite understand. So like, if you were a fruit, hypothetically, what would be your favorite color? I don't know. I would be a fig and my favorite color would be purple. Well, I mean, I didn't ask what fruit you'd be. Might I inquire what your favorite color is as a human? Orange, probably. So it does change based on whether they're a fruit or not. Those are all my questions. If you have one for me, you can ask where I shall take my leave. Sure. Bye-bye then. AKA, get out of my world. Which, you know what? That's fair, because I'm kind of being a bit of a nuisance today. Also, they didn't let me in their world, but what did the Baiju mains do? I swear when I read the signatures in the co-op menu, it leaves me with so many questions. But let's determine what Window's favorite Genshin character is. Chongyun. Nobody puts their favorite as their profile picture. Then if they could add any one thing to Genshin, what would it be? Now, just worth noting, this person has almost max achievements in the game, so maybe they'll have a different insight. While they're busy typing, the 2 robots are gonna have a chat. I don't know, can't think of anything. So I'm just clarifying. That means it's a perfect game to them, that nothing needs to be changed about it whatsoever, or added, or anything. Which I guess if they're spending enough time to get almost every single achievement in the game, yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they would think it's perfect. I can't think of a way of saying like, wow, that doesn't just sound super sarcastic. Like, oh, wow, it's a perfect game to use. That's not what I'm trying to say, but I don't know how to word it in a way that doesn't do that. How many times have you jumped in the past 48 hours? While I answer that, I'm gonna jump. Wait, hold on. Jumping. Okay. I'm at 1. I'm at 1. I bet you I beat them. 0. I win. I'm at 1. I just jumped. I win. Okay. They cannot be asked. Oh, I hate when I'm 1 letter off from being able to send my message. Just put the G. But out of all the achievements that they've gotten, because apparently they're only missing 2, what's the most annoying or toughest one that they've had to do? Any of the commission related ones? Yeah, you know, that's fair. I presume you did those before they made the quality of life changes? Because now if you're missing an achievement for one of those missions, you're more likely to get that mission. Window does not have a question for us. This person wrote as their signature, I'm so bored, someone please join. So I had to do it. You would think that their favorite character in Genshin is going to be Emily because it's their profile picture and it's the character that they're using. But it's not, because it never is. And I remember my Twitch chat taught me how to say his name once. If I remember correctly, it was like Kave. I always second guess myself on that one. Let's see what they want to add to the game. 4-star pity system. You know what? That's a very valid answer. If a bird was flying north at 40 miles per hour for 3.7 hours, where was it last week? Oh Lord. I mean, if you read the question, you don't really have to do anything, but I'm curious to see what answer they come up to. Last week. Oh boy. Yup. They are really contemplating this one. You mean where it came from? Well, where was it a week ago? I think this broke my brain. south. I mean, it just flew north for 3.7 hours. So a week ago, it could have been even further north and flew south in the meantime. There is no answer to this question in case you could not figure that out. You could literally say anywhere. The correct answer is Venezuela. Thank you for participating. Better luck next time. I'll be honest, the reason that I ask them at the end if they want to ask me a question is because it'd be really awkward and abrupt if I asked 3 questions and then just said, okay, bye. Are we actually at a point where people have to put no RP in their signature? I agree with Billy. That is weird. Not even joking. I just spent over 20 minutes trying to get into a world, and we call this the 2-for-1 special. Double the players, double the potential confusion, and they both seem down for it. Looking at the players, we have a Skirk profile picture and a Kinich play for what? A Kinich I'm having a stroke. What is this? A Kinich profile picture. Okay, there we go. And we got Farina and don't know who that is, Kazuha or Nevi. No one puts their favorite character as their profile picture. I'm curious what their reason is. What is this? What does this mean? Do I even want to look that up? I really don't want to. Okay, I looked it up. It appears to be a character from Project Sakai. And as far as I'm aware, they're not a character in Genshin. They must really love that character because they still said their name for no reason. So I feel like that person, to answer this, should say that that's what they want in the game. They want that character. Soap wants a Willik and Primo, or Mora, which I'm pretty sure both of those are already in the game. Also, what happened to my question if you could any one thing to Gent? Where did the ad go? Who subtracted the ad? Have I been saying that wrong the whole time? Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been copy and pasting that question. Yep, I knew it. I knew that that's what they'd say. And free 10 wishes every week. And it seems like Mirai wants where if they collab with someone, they should have their own separate world. Right? I knew that was coming. As for the last question, red grapes or green grapes? And we don't talk about white grapes. They're not real. They don't exist. We have 1 vote for green and 2 votes for green. I am going to do literally nothing with that information. That these people did ask for help with the Stygian onslaught. Although I just realized I don't really know how to pronounce Stygian or Stygian, but I'll try to help them out with that, and then it's on to the next world. Now we are playing with your mom. So let's find out what your mom's favorite Genshin Impact character is. Zhongli. So once again, not putting the profile picture of the favorite character. Now this time, I'm actually going to write this correctly. If you could add any one thing to Genshin Impact, what would it be? Skip. This person knows. That is the best possible answer. Last question then. Would you rather be given $1 million after 7 days or $7,812.50 that doubles every day for 7 days? First one, I guess. Great choice. Thank you for your time. Your reward is located in the chest under my feet because I don't know how they have resisted claiming this entire time. There they go. Hello. They have agreed to answer some questions. As we've been doing, first one is their favorite character. Oh wow, and Traveler is actually one of the contenders. I don't know why I said contenders and the first thing my brain thought of was chicken tenders. Oh, or Yanfei. So, not Chung Yoon. If Alexian could add any one thing to Genshin Impact, what would it be? Melanin. I mean, that's a very valid answer. I don't disagree. Oh, and they said maybe mounts, which I think is valid, but it could also be fixed if they just remove this stamina unless you're in combat. Oh, and they're eager for this last question. It's a very deep one. Do you think the word yes or no looks more aesthetically pleasing? It seems they may not have understood. Neither of them have any level of aesthetic. They're toneless words. No. Yes. It's a simple yes or no question, quite literally. You said it's a deep question and you want a 1-word response. I mean, that was kind of sarcasm, but yes. Or no. Pass? What if I typed it differently? Yes or no? Does one look more pleasing now? Nuh-uh. They don't even want to say the word no. I mean, I personally think yes looks a little more pleasing. And we are back with the next world. I would bet money that their favorite character is anyone but Clorand. And would you look at that? I was right. So, Yaimiko lover, what would you have added to the game? The world is your oyster. You could have anything. Skip buttons, Paimon volume sliders. The options are endless. Hatsune Miku. I gotta be honest, that is not what I was expecting. And somehow that is the second character that's in Project Sakai. Oh, and they decided that was enough questions. You know what? I respect it. They know what they want. They want Hatsune Miku in the game, and they don't want to answer more than 2 questions at a time. Now, the last time that I did a video like this, it was the one where I wanted to see if Genshin Impact players still enjoy Genshin Impact. A common recommendation in that video was that I should have put out something like a Google form to get a larger sample size of people. So this time, that's exactly what I did, although it is a little scuffed. So I introduced to you the Genshin survey. Just like in Co-op, we started by asking who their favorite character was, and for the top 10, we had Farina in first place with 230 votes, Venti in second with 100 votes even, then Nuvolette with 100 votes as well. Next was Xiao with 89, Riley with 86, Arlecchino with 85, Wanderer at 82, Kazuha at 79, and Navia at 76. However, because this was not a multiple choice, but I allowed people to type in whatever they wanted, we also had Nuvolette with 1 L at 31 votes and Nuvolette with 1 T at 9 votes. Then Nuvolette with 1 L and an E at 2 votes. Also had a vote for Nuvolette the GOAT. Monsieur Nuvolette also got a vote, and even Daddy Nuvi got one. Not to mention all of these got votes too. So yeah, this part, we can't really rely on this, because if I counted up every way that people typed in different forms of Raiden Shogun, it was at 172, which would put her in second place already. So I'll probably do this again, but as a multiple choice question just for fun. But let's look at some standout answers. First up, Chaska, 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 also Clarand and Navia I can't choose. March 7th was also in there, the famous Genshin character. And then there were a lot of answers like this. And with 4,000 responses, you can see why I can't exactly tally them all up. But as for one of my favorites, the Ginger. Now maybe they meant Tartaglia, but I'm just going to assume that they meant Aloy. I also did ask what everyone's adventure rank is on their main account just because I was curious, and there were a lot more people at AR60 than I expected. Then I did throw in another random question of what was a mistake that you used to make or something you thought was true when you first played Genshin. These were kind of the most common answers that I saw input, but then as for some of the more unique ones that I saw, this person forgot waypoints existed and walked everywhere for the first month. This person didn't know that you could wish. So I'm just gonna assume this was their first gacha game. Somebody thought that Xingqiu was a girl, and someone also thought that Venti was a girl, and Kaya and Bennett. Mind you, these were all different people saying these. Then one person didn't know about XP books, so they would fight enemies over and over to level characters. Do you know how long that takes? But now for the main event. If you could add any one thing to Genshin Impact, what would it be? And overwhelmingly, the most popular answer was the skip button with 903 votes out of the 4,000. Also, shout out to those 3 people who wrote skip bottom. Now I gotta be honest, these are people that watch my channel, so it's kind of expected that there's a bias towards a skip button since I talk about it in almost every single video. But as for some of the other answers, in no particular order, more resin, that would indeed be nice. But we also had artifact loadouts, goth girl, updated constellations for older characters, domains open every day, boss material recycling, and voiced important world quests. But that's not all. Some other answers were Star Wars collab, constellation toggles, a KFC, I'm not really sure what that person was thinking, voice chat, please Hoyoverse, do not add this, more character skins, new elements, or horror, which I don't know how those connect or if they're supposed to be completely separate, but it just seems like a weird combination. And choosing in-game language for each character, which sounds kind of cool, but I imagine that would be such a pain to implement. But we also saw that players wanted the ability to replay quest cutscenes, which I would actually love because then if I ever need B-roll for video, I could just go back and get it. More diverse skin tones. Like I already said, I very much agree with that. Pity counter, 4-star pity system, Klee buff. So someone watching this really wants a buff, but only for Klee. Rest of the characters, who cares about them? Gun. Let me guess. This was from an American. But last I checked, we already have 4 gun characters in the game. So if you really want more of those, just go to like Texas or something. And more men, preferably hot and buff, according to what a lot of you said. Then I asked, arguably, an even more important question. Have you ever? And out of just over 4,000 responses, 79.3% of you just admitted to something that you had no idea what you were admitting to. Like all I have to do is change the question a little bit and oopsie, have you ever committed a felony? Now almost 80% of you have to go to prison. So I think we've learned that a lot of what people want are the normal things that we've heard people asking for a while now. And then there are just a handful of people who want very specific, very sometimes unique, maybe strange things like a KFC. But with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy. And as always, I shall see you all next time.